Here's a delicious and easy way to make lasagna at home. Here's everything I used for this lasagna. I just made a spinach and mushroom, but you can of course add meat or sausage or whatever you prefer. I also just used the easy oven bake lasagna sheets, but you can of course use the ones that you need to boil. You start with some butter, and then I cut up all my mushrooms and a single shallot, and then I let those saute. And then next I cut up a tomato. I only ended up cutting one of the beefsteak tomatoes because they were just so big. And next I did one big clove of garlic. It kind of looked like a 2-for-1 clove, and then stirred that in with some butter. For the layering sauce, I just mixed marinara tomato basil with a little bit of whipping cream. This is sort of a knockoff vodka sauce. You of course can use plain marinara or make it at home, but this is what I used for this recipe. Then finally into my pan, I'm adding half a bag of spinach. You can of course add more if you want to, and then I'm cutting up some basil from our garden. And then I have everything ready for the layering. I of course have my pan, which does look a little worse for wear, my lasagna sheets, my filling, my sauce, my basil for the topping, 1 jar of ricotta, and then Parmesan cheese. I start by putting a little bit of my layering sauce at the bottom to cover the entire pan, and then put 1 layer of my pasta sheets on top of that. I then do a layer of my filling on top of the pasta. I planned on doing about 3 layers, so I did about a third, and then you dollop the ricotta cheese, you shred as much Parmesan as you can, it gets a little tiring, and then you cover that with a layer of your filling sauce. You want it to look pretty covered, and I mean this is of course personal taste, but I like it saucy. And then you just repeat. Of course I did 3 layers. If you want them to be a little bit more scarce, you can of course do more and add more pasta sheets in between. The most important is that your last layer is fully covered, and then I top it with my sauce and the basil. And then I do a final layer of cheese before I cover that with tin foil. You bake it at 350 for about 40 minutes to an hour, and then it should come out all delicious and gooey like this.